I've got an early 1920s commercial German Luger here in caliber 30 or 7.65. Gun's clear. And the way you know it's a commercial Luger, the top, there's no manufacture date. If you're looking at a military-made version, usually the date's stamped pretty big right across here. So when you see these ones that just kind of look plain Jane like this and don't have a lot of information stamped on them, it's a good chance they're going to be a commercial version. What I mean by commercial is these were made after World War I and before World War II. They were made for the civilian market and exported to other countries. This one was made by DWM in Germany. Also on this one, you can see this proof mark stamped here. That's indicative of a commercial version. This Luger is in very good condition for its age, and it was taken care of very well. It shoots flawlessly, functions flawlessly. This pistol just feels so natural in your hand. It's a very ergonomic fit to your hand. It's very easy to point. I don't have the best close-up vision, so it makes focusing on the front and the rear sight not easy. But just simply pointing this and instinctually shooting it, and I don't shoot pistols hardly any, but I can point and shoot this pistol really well. With the way this pistol is designed, having basically your action in this area, the grip under it, which also stores the ammunition, but the only thing you have forward is the barrel, and there's no part of the frame or slide with a recoil spring or anything over here adding any extra weight. So the point of all that is when you're holding this pistol, the weight is very centralized and it sits down in your hand very nicely where you don't feel like you've got anything that's kind of weight forward that wants to tip it down. So the weight just settles nicely in your hand. Here are some dimensional characteristics of this Luger. You can see it's about 8.5 inches long. Top to bottom, about 5.5 inches. With a magazine that's unloaded and inserted into the grip, it weighs 1.95 pounds. With a loaded magazine of 8 rounds, it weighs 2.12 pounds. Magazine's out, gun's clear. This one still has the shoulder stock lug attached. Some of these will have the shoulder stock lug ground off for compliance reasons. I think that's kind of a toss-up now in terms of what would be legal with the stock on this, because if you had a stock, technically you would have a short-barreled rifle. But in the past, I think the ATF ruling has been if you have an original stock and it's attached in its original configuration, that does not make this illegal. But here recently, the ATF has been revising some rules and statements about gun laws, so I don't know that I would even want to push that. This is an aftermarket magazine. I have a factory original. It doesn't match with the serial number, but this is just an aftermarket magazine, so I don't put any more wear and stress on the spring of the original magazine. These are Mec-Gar magazines. They're made in Italy. I think that's the way you say the name, Mec-Gar, M-E-C-G-A-R. I'm not 100% sure if that's the right pronunciation or not, but these work really well. They function flawlessly. I've shot with them quite a bit. I've never had any kind of issue with them. So for an inexpensive aftermarket magazine that's about $30 or $35, it's going to be hard to beat these. If we want to disassemble this pistol, you want to pull back some tension on the slide here, rotate the takedown lever, let it go forward. You can take this little plate off right here. Once this plate has been removed, you can slide the upper assembly off. You'll have the lower frame. If you want to get the bolt out, push this pin. If you're looking at the gun from right to left, this pin has a nice little rim on it here. Makes it easy to get. You can pull it out, and then you can slide the entire bolt out. That's as far as I'm going to break it down. You've got the barrel and receiver assembly here. Here's the bolt and toggle. The bluing on this Luger is in very good condition. I'm assuming it's all original. Sometimes when these are reblued in here, this can take on a bluish tint, whereas factory they were silver. I know it's kind of hard to see it here, but this one still retains its silver appearance on the inside here. It's just in very fine condition for a pistol that's over 100 years old. The bore on this one's in pretty good shape. See, we've got pretty good rifling present. There's no pitting. It is a slight bit frosty, but it shoots really well. So the bore is not an issue on this one. Let's reassemble this. Take your barrel and upper receiver, slide your bolt in. When you're ready to push it all the way forward, make sure you lift up on this a little bit so it'll clear. Slide it, and there you go. Now just manipulate the toggle here until you line this hole up. Drop your pin in, boom, push it flat. And you want to make sure that this hook here is sticking out the back. turn the lower receiver part of the gun upside down where it's in this position. Slide it in these two grooves here, just like that. You'll see this little lever here, this little silver lever, as it goes down, and it's going to clear this part here. And once it clears that, you want it to drop down right into there. And there's this little double fork piece here, and you want to make sure that that falls down in front of that. Now you slide it back, pull some tension on it, slide your catch in, push it down, click this back, let it go, check it for function. This one will stay open on an empty mag. I think some of the very early versions did not do that, but this one does. If you want to get the toggle action down, just release the magazine, pull back, let it go forward. All right, here we go out in the field. I'm going to take a couple shots with it. You can see how it cycles, functions.